friend. Thanks for joining me today. I'm ReeRee, and this is ReeReeSaves, a YouTube channel documenting my journey to overcome trauma spending. Trauma spending is an extreme form of emotional spending. Now, I record my budgeting trial and error, things I'm learning in therapy, and what happens when I experience a trauma spending episode. I hope this helps you, especially if you experience trauma spending too. And if you want even more, join my Patreon for weekly podcasts and occasional blog posts. Hi guys. So in this segment, we're going to talk about the oopsie I made today. So I accidentally paid a large bill twice this month. And I didn't have enough buffer to cover it. So I ended up taking all of week 4 and putting it towards that bill. And I also had to take the money from my savings challenges, not all of it, but some of it, and put it towards that bill too. Now let's see what's left in my wallet. There's nothing in gas, nothing in groceries. There's $1 and some change in eating out. Now normally this change would get saved, but because I am not refilling my wallet this week, because the money for week 4 got spent, this money is instead going to be saved. So we have $1, 25, 50, 75, $2, $3, 325, 330, 340, 345, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50, 2 cents. So we have $3.52 left. Now, spoiler alert, that is actually all the money that is left in this wallet. There is nothing else left. I will say I have some money in my bank account that I can use for gas, but pet, clothing, monthly, fun, and outing are all empty. And that will not be refilled this week because I had to spend that money on the bill. And I will clarify, they wouldn't let me refund the second payment because I was behind a little. And so, I mean, it's kind of nice because now I'm caught up. But on the other hand, I have no money for this week. Well, okay, I have $3.52 this week. So let's see the damage that we did to our savings challenges. So I only took out of 2 saving challenge categories. You can see there's nothing to be stuffed this week. Braces still has its 5. Emergency fund still has its 15. I took the extra debt payment because that made sense, right? I made an extra debt payment. And I robbed Disney. So instead of having 40, Disney has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I took $15 out of Disney too, which is a bummer. And the way I'm going to work with this is when I have money to put back in this folder, I will put it back into these 2 categories first before I roll the dice and play my games. And tennis shoes has 40 or 35 still. So that's the condition of my savings challenge or savings binder. If you want some more details, I'll leave a card for my previous video where I explained a lot about this binder and how it works and played the game with it, and unfortunately had to rob it this week, but I'm so grateful I had the money in here and that I budgeted carefully and was able to take week 4 from my other flexible spending budgets so that I didn't have to, so that I could make ends meet. And so I'm grateful for that. But that is honestly it for this section this week. No new savings challenge money and no new budget money. All right, let's move on to the next section. Friend, how does therapy relate to budgeting? Well, I'm here to share my journey of overcoming trauma as it relates to my finances. I experience trauma spending episodes where I spend money trying to make myself feel happy when I feel triggered. So, in order to control my finances, I need to start healing my trauma. As I learn with my therapist how to exist with hard or uncomfortable emotions, I'm able to reduce my trauma spending episodes. Now, note that this is me sharing my therapy updates, but I'm not a licensed therapist. Okay, here's what I'm learning this week. My therapist told me something I found rather profound in our session this week. They said, nothing is more important than developing your relationship with yourself. How can that be true? Well, I am the base of all my interactions with people and the world around me. So how I feel and how I am doing affects every aspect of my life. So for me, I want to be productive all the time. But eventually, I burn myself out and I'm forced to rest. These days, I equate rest with laziness. Those aren't really the same thing, but I feel like they are. So one thing that happens with me when I burn out is that I feel like I can't do anything. That's a problem because I manage my budget a lot through cooking from home and packing my lunch into work. When I don't get those things done, I spend a lot of money on eating out. All this to say is that burnout does affect my finances. Burnout is just as uncomfortable as anxiety to me, and I feel triggered by it in similar ways. So, I need to broaden my definition of what it means to be productive so that it includes taking care of myself through rest. But how do I do that? My view or perspective of productivity is heavily influenced by a scarcity mindset. I feel like my days are limited, and I've already wasted so much time that I just can't waste a second more. But what if I viewed life with an abundance mindset? I might think instead, if this was my last day on Earth, is being busy really how I would want to spend it? Or would I rather spend it enjoying my time, enjoying each moment, including the still ones? I need to use my cognitive diffusion techniques, discussed in last week's video, to shift my perspective. My thoughts of scarcity will come up. I can't control that. But I need to gently reason with myself. Like this, perhaps. The thought comes, I can't read a book. There's so much I need to get done. My reasoning thought could be, there are a lot of other things I could be doing right now. But for now, I will invest in myself by reading this book. As I repeat this process over and over again, I'll shift my perspective. And as I shift my perspective, I'll have the freedom to invest in myself with stillness and rest. And with that, my whole life, including my finances, will feel more manageable. Friend, I'm so happy you chose to join me today. Thank you. We're in this together. While this week was rough for me, I want to hear about your week. How was it? Leave a comment below so we can all support and uplift each other. I want you to know that you are wanted, you are of worth, and you are my friend. Signing off. Love, Riri.